In this lesson, we're going to cover safer pest control options. Did you know that pesticides are actually one of the most concerning chemicals that we might be exposed to during a day? They are specifically designed to kill pests, which makes them particularly harmful to humans. Short-term exposure might cause symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and headaches, but what's more concerning is the long-term exposure effects. So long-term exposure to pesticides have been linked to things like cancer, brain disorders, and developmental problems in children. For pregnant women, exposure to pesticides raises the risk of having children with developmental challenges or learning disabilities. To reduce your exposure, we want to identify and reduce external pesticide sources, and when tackling pests, we need to address the root of why they're attracted to certain spots, usually food, water, or shelter. And then if needed, we can opt for healthier alternatives over harsh chemicals. Now, some sources of pesticides are our food and water supply. Pesticides in agriculture can linger on produce and contaminate our water supplies. So installing water filters for cleaning drinking water is a great thing that we can do to help combat this. I recommend choosing organic produce, especially foods with high pesticides. So you can find a list of high pesticide foods here from the Environmental Working Group. They have their Dirty Dozen list, which is really great to guide you on which foods that are better to choose organic. Consider frozen organic fruits and veggies, as they're less pesticide laden and freezing maintains nutrients. Another good option is to clean fruits and veggies using a vinegar wash. So a splash of apple cider vinegar to a big bowl of water and then letting your fruit or veg soak in this for 5 minutes before rinsing is a great thing you can do to help combat some of the pesticide residue. Agricultural spraying is something we want to be mindful of. So if you live close to farms or leisure spots like golf courses where there's a lot of pesticide use, this can really increase your exposure risk. So you want to try and stay informed about any sort of schedules for spraying. So calling the locations, figure out when they do spraying, and ensuring that your windows are closed during these times. Also, remembering to take your shoes off before coming inside is going to be a great way that you can help stop tracking some of these inside. And getting an air filter with a carbon filter to help scrub the air is another good option. When it comes to indoor pest control, it's important to consider the impact on health. So for a safer choice, try non-chemical methods like traps and natural repellents. We want to skip the heavy fumigation to steer clear of any pesticide residues sticking around. Have a chat with your local pest control service about the products that they use. If chemicals are a must, make sure to ventilate well and handle them outdoors where possible. And if you need to use chemical pesticides yourself, remember to gear up with protective equipment. A good preventative measure is keeping your house clean. So regular dusting with a microfiber cloth, using a HEPA vacuum cleaner. This helps reduce household dust and any leftover pesticide residue that might be hanging around. Insect repellents are something to be mindful of. Any topical repellents with DEET or picaridin are harmful and quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. So they're particularly risky for children and pregnant women. We want to choose natural repellents like citronella, eucalyptus, or lavender oil. And we want to wear protective clothing to avoid bites instead of lathering up with some of these nasty chemicals. Common pet treatments, such as flea collars and certain shampoos, contain dangerous insecticide. For lice or fleas, avoid products with lidane or permethrin. Instead, use hair conditioner for lice and diatomaceous earth for fleas. Pesticide use in garden poses risk too to plants, pets, and people. We want to embrace organic gardening and natural pest control methods for a much healthier environment. So how do we deal with pests? Well, the first step is to eliminate their food source. Always clean up immediately after meals and keep food in airtight containers. We want to store trash in compost bins far from your living areas. Next, we want to remove their shelter. So we want to keep your home tidy, your yard tidy, removing any clutter where pests can hide, removing wood piles near the house as this can attract pests. And we want to create physical barriers to your home, just so they can't find little holes in. So inspect your home's perimeter and understructure for any small openings. We want to seal any cracks or holes you can find greater than 20 millimeters. Clear caulking works really well for this. And depending on your location, install fly screens or windows on doors, and consider self-closing doors and seals to keep pests out. If you live in an area with mosquitoes, then I highly recommend a mosquito net. And we want to use natural non-toxic methods to eliminate pests. Traps, barriers, and manual removal are also great chemical-free options that we have at our disposal. In the next lesson, we'll cover specific instructions for managing each type of pest.